So joined by Anish Giri. Anish, congratulations on winning the Grand Swiss. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm really happy, of course. I'm probably extremely tired because, I realized yesterday, I must be very tired because we're playing 11 days and, it's okay, I'm also old and...
You're younger than I am.
Yeah, and I think I must have been really tired, but I didn't feel that at all. So I was afraid that once the tournament will end, I'll probably be exhausted. But to be honest, I think I'm most exhausted from all the interviews now. I think that I was okay before you guys started asking me all the questions. And now I'm tired of speaking because I speak so much nonsense. I get tired and disgusted with my own speech. So much trash and unnecessary words.
I'll try to make it
this time,
quick in that case.
It's my fault usually.
So okay, your last game you won over Hans. How do you feel about that in particular? How was it playing Hans?
Yeah, it was a fun situation. I think he went a bit maybe too far with trying to not take risks and just letting me do all the risk taking because we both in must win. But he ended up just playing a very unpleasant end game for himself, and it didn't even work. So draw was also not good for him, but losing was even bad. So yeah, I guess the game went really well for me. In general, I would have been really thrilled if it was a normal game. But of course, since I was in a must win, I wasn't that excited because I thought it's mostly drawish. Of course, I'm better, but such positions are well within the drawing margin. And if you defend really well, you should hold them a lot of times. So I wasn't that excited. Also, I saw things going wrong. Finally Alireza drew, right? So with a draw, I wouldn't have qualified. So I saw Alireza game heading to a draw already from before it started. I knew exactly how it was going to go. I knew that Alireza is going to take a big risk in the opening. Blübaum is going to play very well. Then Blübaum will sort of maintain the control. Alireza, who also doesn't have to go all for broke, will sort of also maintain. And I knew that they're going to maintain sort of a plus equal-ish position. And then I realized that if I'll make a draw, they'll just make a draw too. So I sort of saw it coming. And of course, Alireza took the risk, but he doesn't have to go for broke, and so this risk that he took was not enough for me to count on him winning or losing. So I knew exactly the way the game went is basically exactly how I predicted it. I almost to the details, even the opening choice is something I would have expected. It was so obvious he would get this kind of risky, crappy position, and why would Blübaum lose it? He's seen these positions before, and it's a slow time control. So. Yeah, it was a tough situation. I was in must win, but in the end, luckily I won.
And of course, talking about Blübaum, we know that he's now made it to the candidates. How do you feel about Blübaum potentially being a fellow candidates participant?
I think it's great. I think candidates needs a mixed field to be more fun. And I think him being lower rated is really good for the tournament. He can continue doing the thing he was doing here, playing extremely well and doing the counter-attacking approach. He doesn't have to take any risks, neither here nor in the candidates. And he will let others take the risks. And I think that this kind of mixed field is only better and a lot more fun. I think this is nice. That's why actually, when they first introduced the system where World Cup and Grand Swiss was taking so many spots, I first thought it was bad because it could qualify lower-rated players. But then I realized that you have to think a step ahead. It's actually good for the candidates because you will have your top players there, not all of them, unfortunately, but you anyway can't have all. They're more than 8 great players, right? So you can't have all the great players. You will have 6 of your usual suspects, 6.5. But having a mixed field makes it a lot more fun and creates a better dynamic, especially given that the modern chess is so closely contested.
You've been super busy here, of course. Have you had an opportunity to see Peter Heine Nielsen tweet about the Grand Swiss?
Did he tweet about Grand Swiss?
Yeah, so he said earlier today that he feels that the Grand Swiss is too random because there were 8 people in contention for 2 candidate spots. So, just with what you've said about Blübaum and
Did he say that after I qualified or before?
Before, I think.
Oh, okay, pity, because that would have been just a diss. I would have loved that one. The Grand Swiss is so random that Giri qualified. That would have been a good one. Yeah, no, it's random, but it's random. But again, I realized that, but then I thought that actually it's good to have more random people in the candidates.
Yeah.
It's better for the candidates. Peter Heine Nielsen, or the people that he sort of represents, I really respect their view, but you can't have it all. Like, they want to and complain that chess is drawish, and not have they want that chess is like, they complain that chess is drawish, but then they don't like that some lower-rated people make it, which makes for less drawish games, right? Because people are going to take more risks. So like, what do you want? Do you want chess to be more drawish? Do you want it to be less drawish? Do you want Blübaum in, or do you want him out? Or like, what do you want? Like, you can't have it. You can't complain about both sides of the same coin. And at that point, you just wonder, maybe he just wants to complain, because it's how it works. Like, very often, you can do one thing or you can do the other, and you'll get people complaining about whatever you do, and there'll be reasons to complain about whatever you do. So, no, for sure. I mean, I think personally it's good. I think it's great. I think some of my favorite tournaments are one of my favorite tournaments by far is FIDE, and I think the mixed field is the big part of success. And you have to start thinking as chess organizers, and start thinking in terms of incentives. Like, the players are smart people and they're fighting, for big things, and they're professionals. Incentivize them to play the kind of chess that is interesting. Don't just hope that they will miraculously have insane personalities, because even those who are like hot-blooded and insane fighters, they also learn, at some point. I mean, a few times they burn themselves, they will also learn to take less bad risks, but just make the format such that taking risks is encouraged.
Yeah.
And it is not difficult. You just have to, it's not, I don't have any game theory degree, but it's just absolutely basic logic, that if you have a situation where two players must win playing each other, there will be more likely a fighting game than not. So create this kind of situation. And it's so easy and obvious. And instead, this is never an argument when they're talking about the format. It's always something random. It's always this or that.
And we always get these nice narratives as well, right? When you have underdogs and...
of course. Yeah. Grand Swiss, we could know from before it started that it's going to be great. FIDE, when it has the mixed field, I guess mostly it does. You just show me a tournament before it started, and I can tell you it's going to be good or bad. Looking at the players, the time control, I can just tell you from before. And it's very rarely that I'll be wrong, because if you put top players and you give them you give them the incentives, they will follow the incentives. Like, I can also make a tournament where there will be probably 2 decisive games in the entire tournament. I can easily find you the format, the prize distribution, the players. It will be very easy. So it's not really on the players. Of course, one guy will win or the other guy will win, but it is basically the players are just following what you as an organizer have created, and you have things like the player field, the time control, the prize structure, the qualifying incentives and all that, and they are the ones to blame. It's not the players to blame ever for boring events. It's if your event was boring a few times in a row, think about it. Probably there's something wrong with the format. It's never the players. Wesley So, when he has to win, he's the most solid player ever, he wins. I won 5 games. People say I'm one of the most boring players. Okay, I won 5 games here. What do you want from me more?
And it's not just here, right? As well. This year in general, you've had gone from strength to strength. Second in Prague, won Sharjah outright. Of course, now Grand Swiss, and I know in Sharjah and I know here, you had many victories. Has there been something that you've kind of purposefully done to try and change, the type of play before, where people said you were kind of quite drawish, quite conservative?
No, I'm as drawish as ever. Today, look at my game. I was the most drawish position in the world. I'm as drawish as ever. But of course, I'm just in a good form right now. So first of all, there's that. When I play badly, I'm usually in bad form. And I always try to optimize my strategy for the best result that makes sense for me. If top 40 qualifies from this tournament, I wouldn't win 5 games, probably, even in good form. So, and that's the truth for everybody else. So, of course, again, I don't think my style is any different. I think many people don't really understand what happens in the games either. They follow the engine numbers, and you can't tell from the numbers what's going on the board. It's not enough. If a position has a lot of zeros, let's say, it doesn't mean it's a drawish position at all. It just means the engine is very strong.
Look at things like the bishop pair and 4 versus 3.
Yeah, but okay, of course, having no queens is an indicator, right, and all that. But chess is a lot more complicated than that, and you have to really understand it well to know what's happening, if the game is drawish or not, if somebody's playing for a win or not. It's not so easy to tell. You have to be quite good, and even many commentators, they choose the lazy option, and they don't try to understand, or they go for the easiest narrative. I watched it, at one tournament. I tell you what happened, just to give you an idea of commentators. Like, it was insane. So I was at an event. I was actually doing a guest commentary, and one of the commentators was shown by a fellow analyst. He was shown. He said, "Okay, so what happened is the guy blundered this move, but this was the reason why he blundered." He showed a long, complicated line, and he said, "You can choose to either just say that he missed that the bishop is hanging, or to show the whole line." And the guy chose to show the easy way, He just said the guy blundered because the bishop's hanging. And people thought that the guy, and then of course all the audience watching will think that he just blundered the easy thing, but actually he blundered completely. And the commentator knew this, but chose to go for the easy explanation. And I just saw it happen. I was sitting next. So this just goes to show, that like how difficult it is to understand what's happening in a chess game when even the qualified commentators choose for sake of content, because it's smoother, because also the audience, they have to understand who the audience is, and of course the viewers will not understand that long line, and you will lose these viewers, so they just choose for the easiest narrative, and to the point where it gets absurd like that. So it's honestly, if you are a chess fan who loves chess but doesn't understand the game very well, it's difficult for you. Try to improve at chess, I guess, because it's just difficult to understand what's happening. It's just really hard. It's not just about having queens on or not, or having two bishops or not. It's just complicated, and the engine is not helping. Also, like, one thing I was thinking about, like, the engine, of course, we have is, it shows the chances in this position between this engine playing itself, right? It has nothing to do with the game. It's a tool which we all use, which is not for this, like, it's not a commentating tool. We use it to watch the game, and try to see what's happening in the game. But this is not what the tool is built for. The tool is built for the engine. The engine is built with the purpose to beat other engines and be the strongest entity. So, like, the whole thing is very weird. And then we are looking at this engine and somehow using it for commentary, which is just insane. It's just not what the thing is built for. And nobody's trying to build the thing for commentary, because it would be a lot of fun to have like an engine, imagine, which actually says, like, what is the chance of one player winning? What is the actual chance? The fact that it says 0 is just nothing, doesn't mean anything, or it says +1 means nothing. So you could try to build, but it's a very difficult project, but you could try to build an engine, I'm sure it's possible now with the technology, that would at every given point in the game look at the position and the clock and tell you what are the actual odds of your favorite player winning today. And you would see this chart that would have nothing to do with the engine evaluation. It would be actual chart of, because there is
probability, really.
Yeah, probability, and the probability depends on, of course, so many factors, and that eventual engine would have to be built on human games with the timestamps, but we also don't have, because timestamps are relevant, right? Of course, if you have a winning position and you have no time, it's no longer a winning position. Sometimes it is. Depends on the kind of winning position. So it is really, really hard, and the tool we have is just really not for that. But it would be kind of fun thing to do.
Very interesting idea overall. I mean, also, just to jump back a bit as well, you're not going to go into your first candidates. You've been in the candidates before. Are you going to have a particularly different strategy for this one?
For sure. It's a very different times. Each time I played was different. 16 was different. 2021, 22 was different. I think what I'm privileged with now, I suspect, is I think that at the time, as I started to work on the candidates, I had discovered the state of chess in the process. Now I hope that I'm already further than that. So I will not have, I think I know my enemy better, let's say, than before, So I can, I won't go through frustration in the preparation process, which I used to that time. I'm a lot more excited about it now. I worked, I wanted it so much more than I ever wanted it before, and it also came in so much more fun way than before. I qualified by rating 2 times. And honestly, somebody else qualified me always. Like, I was looking at the game of Ding Huang-Yi, hoping that Ding will beat Huang-Yi, and that qualified me to the candidates. I mean, this is a little bit, it's a little bit lame, to be honest.
So you feel like you've earned it more this time?
For sure, it was like it was my own wrongdoing, So and I'm really, really excited, honestly, about, like, for me now also to get this kind of motivation as candidates is so needed, because I've been playing chess for so many years, and it's gotten a routine at this point. And for me to have motivation like candidates, it's really something I cherish.
Like reinvigorating.
For sure. I mean, like, basically, I just need a higher dose of motivation. Maybe like I need a higher dose of I need higher stakes, because
right.
At first, I was just excited to just play. I was just playing with anybody, like on a train or like in a bus, like blindfolded. I just wanted to play chess with anyone. Then I wanted to play with top players. I was excited. Now I've played so many years. I've played against everybody. Of course, I love chess. I still do, but it doesn't excite me anymore as much as it used to. And yeah, just playing top players in top tournaments, I've done that a lot. I've even won one tournament by accident, maybe a few more, depends how you count. But I still love it, and I'll still do it. But getting to candidates, gives me that feeling that I had when I was young, when it was something I was really looking forward to.
And just touching on one thing you said there, about how you get kind of like more used to the format. I mean, the results are also true. If you look at your candidates placements 2016 then 2020, you improved throughout those events. I think it's also true for the Grand Swiss. The Grand Swiss events that you have played in, you've improved through those events. So, hopefully you'll keep this pattern.
I think it's a coincidence, honestly. I mean, I was just lucky to win here. Everybody was good. Blübaum is good. Firouzja is good. Apparently, I'm also good. So, I'm happy that I'm good, but many other people are also good. And honestly, I was just more lucky than some others.
Of course, I think
really
it was in 2016, right, that Optiva began your sponsorship. So potentially now going into 2026, may be a good time for them to double down on that, I suppose.
Well, unfortunately, they've been supporting me throughout, and my contract extends, I think, beyond 26. I'm pretty sure. So no, I'm really happy they've given me the support through all these years, and it's very important for a chess player to not have to worry, not have to compromise, because there isn't that much money in the sport that, like, if you don't have sponsorship and you just have the prize money, sometimes you have, let's say, an average year, you might question, like, are you going to do this training camp? Maybe you do it some budget version of it, maybe you do it a bit shorter, maybe you do it with a bit less people, maybe you can't afford this, can't afford that. Maybe you don't play certain tournaments, maybe you play certain tournaments actually because you sometimes can be, let's say, you're even invited somewhere, and there's some good prize money. But having sponsorship, you can actually afford to refuse that invitation, because that's not what is best for your chess career. You want to focus on something else. So it's really important for me to have had the support like that. I mean, besides just emotional support, really, to know that somebody is rooting for you, but also to the financial support that, I'm not at the situation where I need necessarily to get, the money to have it on the table, but it's to get the bread on the table. But it's more that for me, like, to really go all out and do my best at my professional chess, I don't have to worry at all about money, and so that's just good to have that. And then I can focus on things that matter, which is, like, in chess, like your openings, your approach and all that. And it's been a really great journey. And I'm also always happy when I play well, because there are a lot of people supporting me, and I always do my best to give back to them, and I really think they didn't do a wrong thing by supporting me. But sometimes, when you don't do well for so long, I start to get the feeling like, that I feel bad for them. They support me, and I don't really deliver. And it's not that I don't feel the pressure to deliver, but it's more that, I just sort of feel it's pity, like, and I'm really happy whenever I play well, that I know my supporters can be proud of me, can be happy, just like supporters of other great players. My supporters are not worse, than others. They didn't pick the wrong guy, so I'm happy with that always.
Perfect. And just final question, because you've been very generous with your time. You've now potentially got a bit of a break. Is there something you're going to do now after this tournament? Go on a holiday, go on a vacation? Are you going to play the World Cup, or are you just going to rest for a bit and relax?
I should give you my calendar. There are dots, on a phone calendar.
Yeah.
I think I don't have a day without a dot on the calendar. So I definitely don't have time. And even if when I have 3 children, people who know, who have any children at all, they know what that means. that means you have a dot in your calendar every single day as well. Yeah, I mean, no, I play also Club Cup, I think, playing World Cup, all sorts of cups. I'm really looking forward to that. No, we did, you know, the summer period was there. We had, although it was very busy for me too. My family had some holidays, but now I think my kids are back to school. It's time for work, and yeah, I wouldn't look forward to. I don't want more holidays. I'm good. Excited for more events and so many things to do. Like even here, you know, so I was already towards the end. I realized like I did a good job preparing, of course, given the time I had, but there's so much more I want to do, so much more ways to improve my game, you know, realizing in the process, you know, that, yeah, this is missing, that is missing, you know, from things I like, from my, like, let's say, arsenal, you know, of weapons. Like, it would be nice to have that weapon now, but I don't have it ready. It would be nice to have this, I don't have it ready. I realize, like, I'm far from the situation, like, the skill set also, you know, I've improved certain skills, but, like, I wish I had them more. So, I feel there's so much for me to improve, so much more to go, and I would have felt very motivated had I not qualified as well. I would have, but now that I did qualify anyway, that's really tremendous, because now I have something to work towards.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time, and all of the best for your tournaments coming up and the candidates as well in 2026. Thank you so much.